I didn't play that. I didn't get a chance
It's
to.
a 4-part game series with, I think, 4 to 5 episodes per game.
Yeah, I started it. I started with the first one, but I didn't.
They did make a collection type game where it's all the previous games together, and then you have the final game that's separate.
Okay, so it's worth playing.
Oh, 100%.
Because I was never. Or are you a fan of The Walking Dead?
The show or the games?
The show, the show.
The show, I was more partial to a show called Z Nation, which was more of just like zombies but funny. Like it was basically just The Walking Dead but funny.
Okay.
There was a lot of comedy aspects in it. The whole point of the show is that there's this group of people that are trying to get from New York to California, and they gotta walk. Because they have this guy who's immune to the virus, so they have to get him to a lab that's in California.
Okay.
It's a funny story. There's like one episode, there's this one character named Doc who he's like your typical herbal doctor is the best way to describe him. To the point where there's this special type of plant called Z-weed, where it's weed that's been grown in compost made of zombies.
Really?
Yeah, you would think that cause an infection. Apparently, it just makes you stoned out your mind. And the thing is, it also works on zombies. That was like one of the funniest things. Like he was stuck in an air vent, tangled up in wires with another zombie. So he just lights one up and just blows the smoke in the zombie's face, and it actually calms down to the point where it's not trying to kill him.
That is fucking good, dude.
Yeah, it's such a funny show. I love it. But yeah,
I had a hard time. I like The Walking Dead in the beginning. The first probably the first season. But probably part of the reason why I didn't play the games is or I did, but I it was kind of similar to the show. I started it, but then I didn't finish it.
There was one game that was based off of the show where you actually play as Daryl, and from what I hear, it did not do good. It did,
I don't. What was?
I think it was like Walking Dead Road Trip or something like that.
Okay.
I can't remember the actual name of it. I played maybe a couple hours of it because I didn't like it that much. But because the problem is it came out around the same time as The Walking Dead from Telltale. Those guys cooked, and they rode that horse until it died, and it died at the perfect time. They didn't try to overkill it. They didn't try to bleed as much as it could out of it. They let it die at the perfect time. And then they focused on other stuff, like their other titles called The Wolf Among Us, which that game is amazing, without a shadow. It's such a take on old fairy tales like Rapunzel, The Three Little Pigs. Just think of all those fairy tale characters living in a city in the Bronx. Just like every fairy tale character on crack, pretty much. You play as Bigby, aka the big bad wolf from The Three Little Pigs or Red Riding Hood.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, and you may interact with some other characters like Snow White, Beauty and the Beast, just all these different fable characters.
Huh.
And it's such like a dark and grisly feel to like such an iconic, more kids focused. Like if it's, for example, if you watched Beauty and the Beast as a kid and then you saw The Wolf Among Us shortly after, you'd be terrified.
Yeah.
You get to see like a bunch of other characters. Like you see Bloody Mary too. She's fucking terrifying.
Really?
She's scared. She's generally scary.
Wow. I guess my biggest beef with The Walking Dead was like I just felt like it failed to evolve in a way that
felt fresh.
Like, I'll give you an example. Like, after the first season, I'm like, okay, let's see what, happens. As we're going through the second season, I'm like, man, dude, nothing's changing. And what I mean by that is like, I didn't like that. It just didn't feel like there was a variety of like zombies. Like, why are they all walkers? Why aren't there runners? Why are there no zombie dogs or zombie horses? And like, I just felt like there was like this lack of innovation. And I also I love Daryl. But what was the cop in the beginning? Sean or what?
Yeah, I know who you're
The
talking
one who
about.
died really early on.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
plays like the Punisher and stuff.
Yeah.
I was like, man, dude, why did he die off? And then Rick, I just never bought into Rick as the main guy. I don't know why. I just didn't. I always thought maybe like Daryl or one of these other guys should have been the main guy. Anyways, The Walking Dead was a really interesting concept that I felt was there was a lack of innovation.
Yeah.
Because I loved like World War Z. Did
Yes.
you ever see that? Like, these guys are all out like running, like sprinting at you,
I
and they're
didn't
zombies.
see the movie, but I played the game.
Yeah, the game's kind of similar. Like it was just like this horde.
Fun fact: the same guys who made the Z Nation game, they put their tech into Space Marines.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they put like their horde tech.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
Love
like
that.
yeah, they got that was like the cool thing with the World War Z video game is that there was thousands of zombies on screen at once, and it would not lag your game.
Yeah, it was.
I don't know
sick.
how they did it, but it works, and they did the same thing with Space Marines, which I thought was very good.
That's
But yeah,
awesome.
the thing is, what you were saying with Walking Dead is there was no variety between the zombies. That's why I like World War Z, because there's so many
Same.
different. There's not World War Z. Well, yeah, is it World War Z? But also with Z Nation.
Z Nation.
Z Nation's got a bunch of different types of zombies, like, and it makes sense on how they got that way. Like, there was one plant one that was basically a zombie that was planted inside a plant, and it kind of just grew around it to the point where it was able to control the plants in some weird way. It was weird. Then you have these they quote unquote called blasters, which was there was a nuke in one point in the show, and it blew up in a decently city-wide area. And the zombies that survived it became these blasters. They were fast. When I say fast, they could outrun cars.
Really?
Yes, there's one scene where you see a bunch of blasters trying to chase down a semi truck, and they literally rip open the door and start munching on the driver. It's gnarly.
Did you ever see The Strain?
No.
Okay.
But
My brother was really into that, and I know like they canceled that after I forget how many seasons. But anyway,
and another underrated use of zombies is zombie animals. There's zombie animals in Z Nation. Hell, one of them is a zombie bear.
yeah,
That thing is terrifying.
I just felt like I was like, man, dude, I really wish I was in the writer's room for The Walking Dead, because I'm like, bro, like there's just a lack of innovation. Like on the flip side, you got like American Horror Story, and they're doing all kinds of crazy
shit.
like, I'm like, dude, I would love to hear what they talk about. Like, dude, those guys are like, dude, their minds, Ryan Murphy and them.
I guarantee they just sit in a room all day and just talk about what would be the most weird and fucked up shit they could probably figure out.
For sure, 100%, dude.
Yeah. I remember watching a couple episodes. I was like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, dude, it's The Walking Walking Dead, but American Horror Story is another. I mean, that is a whole nother story for another day.
Yeah.
But